Pain is supposed to break you. That's what it feels like when you're in it. Like it's going to destroy you. Like you'll never be whole again. Like the weight of it will crush you into nothing. And for a while, it does break you. It shatters you. It takes everything you thought you knew about yourself and turns it to dust. But here's what pain doesn't tell you while it's breaking you. It's also building something. Something you can't see yet. Something you won't recognize until much later. It's building power. Real power. The kind that can't be taught or given. Only earned. Let me tell you a story. Not a fairy tale. A true survivor story. Maybe it's yours. Maybe it's someone you know. Maybe it's mine. Maybe it's all of ours. Because survival stories, at their core, are all the same. They're about pain that tried to destroy us. And the power we found in refusing to let it. She was 28 when her world fell apart. Marriage ended. Career imploded. Friendships dissolved. Everything she'd built, everything she'd believed about her life, gone in the span of months. And she was left standing in the wreckage, trying to figure out how to breathe through the pain. The pain was physical. It lived in her body. Tight chest, clenched jaw, sleepless nights, no appetite, exhaustion that never lifted. Her body was carrying what her mind couldn't process, and it was breaking her down piece by piece. The pain was emotional. Grief so heavy she could barely stand. Rage that had nowhere to go. Shame that whispered she should have seen it coming. Fear that this was all she'd ever be now. Someone broken. Someone who couldn't hold it together. Someone who'd lost everything and couldn't get it back. And the pain was existential. Who was she without the life she'd built? Without the identity she'd worn? Without the future she'd planned? She didn't know. And not knowing felt like drowning. For months, she just survived. She didn't heal. She didn't grow. She didn't find silver linings or learn lessons. She just existed. Got up. Went through the motions. Made it to the next day. That's all she could do. And some days, even that felt impossible. But somewhere in those months of just surviving, something shifted. She started to notice things. Small things. She noticed she was still here. That every day she thought she couldn't survive, she did. She noticed she was stronger than she thought. Not because she felt strong, but because she was still standing when by all rights she should have collapsed. She noticed that the pain, as terrible as it was teaching her things. About who she actually was. About what she actually needed. About what she would and wouldn't tolerate. About her own capacity to endure. The pain was stripping away everything that wasn't essential. And what remained was real. Raw. True. She started to make different choices. Small ones at first. She started saying no to things that drained her. She started protecting her energy like it was precious. Because it was. She started listening to her body instead of overriding it. Resting when she was tired. Eating when she was hungry. Moving when she needed to move. She started setting boundaries she'd never had the courage to set before. With family. With friends. With people who wanted her to heal faster or differently or quieter. She started choosing herself in ways that felt selfish but were actually necessary. And slowly, she started to feel less like a victim of her pain and more like someone navigating through it. The pain didn't go away. It shifted, changed form, became less constant, less consuming, but it was still there. And she realized something important. She didn't need it to go away to move forward. She could carry it and still build something. She could hurt and still create. She could be broken and still be powerful. So she started using her pain, not performing it, not wallowing in it, but channeling it. She started writing about what she'd been through, not for anyone else, for herself, to make sense of it, to give it shape, to take the chaos inside her and turn it into something she could look at, understand, work with. She started helping others who were where she'd been, not as some guru who had it all figured out, but as someone who was still figuring it out, still healing, still struggling some days, but who'd survived enough to offer hope, to say, I know how dark it is, and I'm still here, and you will be too. She started building a life that honored what she'd been through, not by staying stuck in it, but by not pretending it didn't happen, by acknowledging that she was changed, that she couldn't go back to who she was before. And she didn't want to, because who she was becoming was stronger, more real, more aligned with what actually mattered. The pain had burned away everything that didn't serve her. The people-pleasing, the perfectionism, the need for approval, the fear of being too much or not enough. All of it, gone. What remained was someone who knew herself, who trusted herself, who valued herself. Not because life was easy now, but because surviving the hard parts taught her she was worth fighting for. She turned her pain into power, not by making the pain worth it. It wasn't. She would have chosen not to go through it if she'd had the choice. But since she had to go through it anyway, she chose what to do with it. She chose not to let it define her as broken. She chose to let it refine her into someone stronger. And here's what that power looks like. It's not loud. It's not aggressive. It's not about dominating or controlling. It's quiet, steady, unshakable. It's the power of knowing what you've survived, of knowing what you're capable of knowing that the worst already happened and you're still here. It's the power of not needing anyone's permission to live your life, not needing anyone's approval to make your choices, not needing anyone's validation to know your worth. It's the power of being your own source of strength. It's the power of boundaries that protect your peace, of saying no without guilt, of choosing yourself without apology, of walking away from what harms you without looking back. It's the power of authenticity, of being who you are without performing who you should be, of showing up real and raw and imperfect and owning all of it. It's the power of empathy, of understanding pain in others because you've lived it yourself, of holding space for struggle because you know what struggle feels like, of being the person for someone else that you needed when you were in the darkness. And it's the power of hope, not naive hope, but earned hope, hope that's been tested and survived. Hope that exists not because you don't know how bad things can get, but because you do. And you're still choosing to believe better is possible. This is what turning pain into power looks like. Not making the pain beautiful, not being grateful for the trauma, not saying everything happens for a reason, but refusing to let the pain have the final word, refusing to stay broken, refusing to believe that what happened to you determines who you become. You get to decide that. You get to take the pain and choose what you do with it. You can let it destroy you, or you can let it forge you into something stronger. Both are understandable. Both make sense. But only one leads to power. If you're in pain right now, if you're in the breaking, if you can't imagine ever feeling powerful again, hear this. The power is already building. You can't see it yet. You won't believe it yet. But it's there. In every day you survive. In every choice you make to keep going. In every moment you refuse to give up. Your pain is real. Your struggle is valid. And your power is coming. Not despite the pain, but because of what you're doing with it. How you're surviving it. How you're using it to become someone you weren't before. Someone stronger. Someone wiser. Someone who knows what they're capable of because they've been tested and they're still standing. Turn your pain into power. Not by pretending it doesn't hurt, but by deciding it won't destroy you. By choosing to build something from the ruins. By refusing to let the worst thing that happened to you become the only thing about you. You're a survivor. And survivors don't just endure. They transform. They take what tried to break them and they forge it into strength, into wisdom, into power that can't be shaken. That's your story. True survivor. You're writing it right now. With every breath, every choice, every moment you keep going. Your pain tried to end your story, but you're turning it into the beginning of something powerful. Keep going. Your power is coming. Thanks for watching. How are you turning your pain into power? What's your survivor story? Share it in the comments. Your transformation might be exactly what someone else needs to see today. And if you're still in the pain, still waiting for the power, hold on. It's building. We see it even if you can't yet. Subscribe to keep transforming together. You will stand again.